Hi everybody, welcome back to CC Davis Studio. I'm Colette. Thank you so much for joining me. Continuing work on volume 8 of Roxy's Journal of Stitchery, making a gathered things quilt, and I'm still working through my first printer's tray that you've seen a number of times before. I've got one spot left here that I will add something to, and then we've got quite a few spots up here. So the prompt for this week is your own embroidery, and because I've got really small sort of spots left, I thought I might just do my first initial and do some embroidery in there. I've done lots of embroidery on different things you've seen already, and I've done ones that I haven't put in my next tray yet, so I've got quite a few things ready for the next tray. I just haven't put the grid together yet because I'm thinking about doing bigger sections as well, so I give myself more room to do big things like Jane, her portrait, those kinds of things, and more bugs. And yeah, can't wait to see what some of the prompts will be. So each prompt I'm adding something new, and sometimes doing 2 or 3 because I'd want to make at least 3, maybe 6 of these different trays. But it just depends on what prompts are, and I'll come back and revisit some of those prompts as I make new trays as well. So this is my own little world of things. I love little things. I love miniatures, as I've shown you before. So have a look at other videos if you haven't seen them already of my printer's trays that I actually have in real life, and then these ones that I've just sort of made to mirror it. So I think I might do monogram, maybe just a C for Colette in my own kind of writing. So I've cut up a piece of calico to stitch onto here because I think I'd like to do lots of different types of stitches, but probably lots of knots and maybe some seed stitching as well into the monogram. So I don't have much room to play with, so I'll probably just do a small C and then do lots of little French knots and a few little things inside there. So let's get rid of this for now. So how have you been? What have you been up to? You got any stitching in? Been doing lots and lots of stitching on another little project that I'm working on as well. So I'll show that in future episodes on my channel. So basically that's about how much room I've got to play with. So I've just turned it over, maybe a little fancy looking C. What do we think? And this iron's off, so it doesn't matter if you know, I make an error, because I can come back later and iron it. So are you following along with the Journal of Stitchery, or what sort of projects are you making? I went to the craft. I'm going to bring you in a little bit. I went to the craft and quilt fair in Melbourne the other day, yesterday, and it was a beautiful warmish day, and now it's raining. I caught the train in because I do like catching the train. So I caught the train in, and really, you know, I felt exhausted, to be honest, after it, and I'm not sure why. Have I gone outside that line? Okay, not too bad. Yeah, I felt really exhausted. I did buy a lot of things, and that's, I think, what happens when you go into there. I don't like going into the convention centre. It makes me tired. How's me having a big complaint? And so you do overspend. I don't know about you, but when I'm tired, I do tend to overspend. So yeah, I did buy a lot of things, and I'll share that hopefully later this week or earlier this week. I'm not sure which order I'm going to put these in. So I have these variegated threads, DMC, Anchor, a few other different things. I thought that might be, yeah, a bit interesting to do some variegated threads. So I might just, because it's so little, I might just fill it with a whole lot of French knots. I hadn't intended on doing that. I thought I'd do lots of different things, but maybe let's give that a go. So I've got a little piece. I haven't wound any of these on because I was being a bit lazy and not winding them on to any of the thread holders. Now this is the full 6, which will mean that we will fill this up really quickly, but that's okay. It's just a little bit of a stitch and chat, stitch along. So hope you've got a cup of tea or a coffee or some delicious drink, maybe a little snack, and we can chat whilst we sew. So I'm going to go around the outside with a black thread in the end, but right now I will just leave it like that, and then I can come back. So I'm going to bring you in even closer because, you know, why not? So if you haven't done, what is this called? French knot. You can wind it around as many times you like. I might just do 3 times round, go through. The tighter you pull it here, the tighter the knot will be. And there we go. So I might do a few clusters of these, yeah, all in different colours, and then come back and do different colours everywhere. So I'll do, you know what I'm like? I like odd numbers, so it's either a cluster of 3 or a cluster of 5 because that's how I roll, and then I can come and fill in the gaps elsewhere. So what can I tell you? It's a busy time of year. We've got 2 more weeks left of school before school holidays in Melbourne, and I've got to be honest, I'd be pretty pleased to be on holidays. It's been a really tiring term. I think I've said before what a big complainer I am today. Gosh. But yeah, it'd be nice to have a bit of holidays, and I'm going to go to, I've got a day to look forward to coming up soon, just before school holidays, I think it is. Kate in the Nest, beautiful Kate. Hey Kate, I know you watch along. I watch along your beautiful videos too. Beautiful Kate in the Nest has got a whole lot of workshops that she's doing with her beautiful way that she works, and I'm going to go over on the Sunday because I can't go during the week because it's not quite school holidays yet. I'm going to go over on the Sunday and do a heart workshop. I can't wait. I love learning from other people, and she's just got a beautiful attitude as well. So lovely to meet Kate. I've never met Kate before, but we've had a little bit of a chat online, text messaging and those kinds of things. So it'll be lovely, lovely, lovely to meet her. So I'm looking forward to that. Isn't it nice to have things that you can look forward to? And I was looking forward to the show, the craft show, and just been, and yeah, it's funny how overwhelmed I felt. It's that menopause. Is that reason why I'm feeling a bit funny sometimes? I don't know. But I did buy quite a few lovely things, so watch out for that video coming up. Or it may have been already posted by the time I post this, probably. We'll see. I haven't decided the order of things. A bit higgledy-piggledy at the moment. It's a funny saying, isn't it? Is that Australian, that saying? Higgledy-piggledy. Maybe just 2 there. Let's break my rules, because, you know, I'm a rule breaker. I'm not. I'm absolutely a rule follower. It's the way I was brought up. Do the right thing. Tell the truth. Be a good girl. Be brought up like that. I find it hard to break rules. That said though, I am an Aquarian and rules are made to be broken. Are we all dichotomies where we live in the grey? I am loving this colour. We're starting to get into a lighter colour now. Look at that. Are you a rule follower or are you a rule breaker? There are times to break rules, I think, especially when it comes to art, which, you know, this is what we're doing. This is art. I don't think there's any rules. That's how I feel anyway. I think when it comes to creativity, there are absolutely no rules. And I do always struggle with, you know, when people say, well, that's just the way things are. Well, why are they the way they are? You know, I can accept, very good at accepting some things, but if something isn't right, I do have quite a fast reaction to things sometimes where I don't say it out loud, but in my heart I just go, well, that's not right. I'm not sure that we should do that, or people should be treated that way just because it's always been done that way. Is that the way, and how do we know? What's the evidence? Or is it just that's what people have always done, so let's just do the status quo? Being a leader, I'm constantly pondering and asking others, you know, seeking to understand and wondering, well, why is that, and how do we know, and what's the evidence for that for our practice? And it's not good enough to just say, well, we've always done it that way, so let's do it that way. So I think because I have that kind of mind, I've probably chosen roles that ask those questions. My gosh, some of the things that I ramble on about, seriously, isn't that what creating things does? Gets you into flow, gets you into, thinking about weird things. What do we think so far? God, I love a French knot. Do you love French knots? It's probably enough pink. What colour shall we do next? Have you seen Sarah's bird from Roxy Creations Project, the bird that Sarah's just done? She was doing it for, I'm not sure if it's for her quilt or not. Sarah, I can't remember. Did I just say through that? No. But it's kooky and gorgeous and I love it. So I think a bird will have to be one of the embroidered things that I do as well. Sorry if you can hear things in the background. That's my son. It's a Sunday. I lied. It's not Saturday. It's Sunday. Yesterday's Saturday. It's a Sunday, and he is rarely able to play video games. He has a few friends who play video games, and he's on there. So if you can hear chitty chatty in the background, well, chitty chatty, let's be honest, when they play those games, they're as loud as all get out. So if you can hear that in the background, that's what that is. It's my son playing those games with his mates. My beautiful son. So it's Father's Day today, and my husband wants to put his headphones in, which is what he's done, and he's listening to his podcasts and audiobooks whilst he is doing a book of crosswords that we bought him for Father's Day. I'm struggling. So he's doing a book of crosswords and he's very content. I said, do you want to go to the movies or go play putt-putt or, you know, go do some golf? Or nope, he doesn't want to do any of those things. He just wants a home day and to relax, listen to the things that he wants to listen to, do some crosswords. So hey, whatever brings him joy, we will do. That's really what he wanted. So everybody has different things that they enjoy doing, don't they? I like sitting and sewing. but I do like going and doing things as well. But my husband's a very quiet, introverted kind of bloke, and he likes a bit of quiet time too, so we're quite suited when it comes to, you know, being able to be quiet and just be with each other. Isn't that lovely, hey? Do you have that? I mean, we have our silly times where we're both mucking around. A lot of laughter in our house, which is lovely, but we also all like a bit of quiet, which is nice too. They almost look like little flowers, these, don't they? Oh, just lost one. It's the only thing when you're working small scale. And I know it would be much easier if I put it in a hoop, but I don't like them. Everybody has their own way, don't they? I don't like hoops. Very rare do I use them. So I thought a nice colourful, I love variegated thread. I have never had many, and then when I went to the retreat in Hervey Bay, they had, I think I've shown you before, if you look back in some of the videos, they had bags full of these lovely variegated and other threads for a really good price. And I thought, oh, I don't have any variegated threads. I might just pick them up, because it just gives you so much variation and just very quickly makes something look lovely and colourful and interesting. Look at that, see the greens come through now. So let's go up here. I've got so much inspiration of things that I want to make, and I'm hoping during school holidays I might be able to do quite a few of these projects that I have on my list. Like, I really want to do a pouch with these beautiful pink doilies that I found. Yeah, I just really feel like doing something like that. So I'm hoping that I'll get time. Well, I will make time, not get time. I will make time during the holidays. To do some of those beautiful little things that I want to try. This is a really long piece of thread that I probably shouldn't have done. See that one? See how loose that one is? Because I didn't pull it too tight, so I'm going to come back in, because I don't like loose. Well, not too loose anyway. Don't want them bubbling around. Let's just get in there. One more. I'll come back with another colour down there. Wow, don't you like that? Do you think that looks cute? It's going to take a lot. So I'm just going to use this thread and go near all of those, and then when I start a new thread, I'll come back. So I just realised that I hadn't pressed play. I've been doing quite a lot of French knots. So this is where we've got to so far. You saw me do the first sort of purpley mauvey ones, rose coloured ones, burgundy, that's the word, and the blues. And then this is my favourite, and look how much I have left, not very much, and it's a very, very old anchor, 1335. If I could find this again, I'd be so happy. It's like cotton candy kind of look, and that's what I've added to here, and isn't that absolutely gorgeous? So I think I need a little bit more, which I will add, of the burgundy one that has the into the range of the rose coloured and pinks. And I think then at the end, because yellow can overpower, it's got yellows and greens, I will come back in and do that. So we'll go for a little bit longer, and then I will go off camera again and do some more. It does take a while, so it's probably been all up maybe 1.5 hours start to finish will be what it will take for me to do this, maybe a little bit longer. But I love this cotton candy kind of looking one because it just, yeah, it gives you lots of variegation of colour, and you don't have to keep changing thread, which, you know, annoys me. But this is just lovely, isn't it? So if you ever, I can't get it anywhere. So if you know where it is, or if you see it, if you know it's online, please tell me where I can get it, because I reckon I'd buy as many as I possibly could of this variegated, but all the others as well. But this cotton candy one would have to be my favourite. I had 2 of them. I've already used one, whole one, and that's what I have left of this one. So not colours that I normally utilise, but when I'm doing gardens and things like that, or wanting to have flowers, it's just great. So if you've never used variegated before, wasn't really a variegated girl, I couldn't recommend it more. So I'm still just doing 3 twists around the needle and then coming in. So because I do them quite tight, it does make it sit up. So I will go around it with backstitch and then whip it, excuse me, all the way around the C, so you can start to see the outline of the C better again. That one's a bit loose, but I'll come back. Yeah, so it starts to sit up, and I really like that look. I like them tight, but when I watch other people who do them a little bit looser, I love theirs as well. It's just, yeah, I don't know, just I really like it a bit tighter. So what are you making? What are you up to? Tell me in the comments. What would you sit here and do this many French knots, or would it drive you nuts? That was really loose. Let's just come back in. It's like seed stitch as well. I love seed stitch. I find it really meditative, but it does drive some people batty because it takes ages. And, you know, it's whether or not you have the time or the energy to do that, whereas I love it. I find it just, yeah, I get into the zone. So that's probably why I thought I'd press play, record, and I hadn't. And then I was right in the zone, talking to you and chatting away about probably nothing important, let's be honest, just chatting. And then realised, I thought, oh, I'll just check how long I've been going for. I went, oh, it's not recording. Goose, what a goose. I just think French knots are just so effective. See lots of people doing their own embroideries and for this prompt, but we love a stitch. I love a bead, I love a button, and love a coloured thread. Actually had a dress on yesterday, very much in this colour tone. Look, I've got a knot. How annoying. Yeah, because it's been warm here, it was freezing during the week, and yesterday was warm, and today is warm, but the wind has started. So I think that we're going to get some more cold weather. We had like that false spring that often happens here in Melbourne, in Australia in particular, during the end of August, start of September. We often get that false spring happen, and then we get a few more cold days. It's like the universe goes, no, it's not really spring. The flowers get terribly confused because the trees, and spring here in Melbourne is terrible hay fever. My husband and my son get shocking hay fever. I don't get it too bad. What's going on now? Why won't it go in? I don't get it too badly, but they get it terribly. Why? Tell me. Oh, why is it doing that. Can you see me struggling? And you're probably all shouting, going, Colette, it doesn't matter. It's on the back. Don't worry. Okay, I will listen to you. I will not worry. It's on the back. And maybe it's part of me going, I really want to save this thread. I don't want to use too much of it. Is that silly? I'm sure I'll find other lovely things in my travels, but when you like something, there's always a high desire to make it last. Had a terrible incident here in Melbourne where a person has shot police, saying they're a sovereign citizen. For goodness sake, listen here, I've got police officers in my family, and to see a police officer in the line of duty shot for no other purpose, but this person decided that was in their rights to kill them, makes me very frightened for my nephews who are 2 police officers. Very, very frightened. And the police force are so impacted that somebody's son, you know, somebody's brother, someone's uncle, so very young, and it makes me really sad to see that. And my nephew, one of my nephews who has been a cop for a little bit, has seen a lot of terrible things. He's very affected by it, and so are his colleagues. So please, please be kind. Please treat each other with kindness. Goodness me. You can have your beliefs. I'm all for that. But we don't have to harm each other. We don't have lots of that here in Australia, thank goodness. And other countries are absolutely burdened with that. Could I just call for people to be kind and try and just solve whatever issue you have? Please protest. You have a right to protest. You have a right to have different beliefs, but you do not have a right to take another's life. And particularly, these are beautiful men and women who are trying to have service to us and keep us safe. I promise I'll stop ranting now, but it just frightens me. Frightens me for my nephews. Frightens me for the country. Anyway, we'll move on. Let's talk about some lovely things. When I was catching the train to the craft show the other day, my goodness, I live right near the water, which isn't that just so lucky, and even standing on the train station, it looks over, it's quite high up now, our rail stations, and it looks over the water, and wow, it was so shiny and beautiful. The beautiful silver light you get over water is just wow. Makes you so glad to be out in the air and the sun. It's lovely. I live on the peninsula, so it's such a treat. I've worked with kids before who, many years ago, I was working at a school that was probably about 10-minute walk, maybe 20 minutes. No, not even that really, 10-minute walk from the beach. And some of the kids had said they'd never been to the beach, and only 10 minutes away. So of course, you know me, I've just gone, oh, I'll fix that. So one of my excursions, I just took them for a walk down to the beach, and they had the best time. I really love the beach and the water and the sand. It's so, oh, I did that one too tight. Yeah, it's just so therapeutic and lovely, really enjoyable to be. And the smells, like it's, yeah, just all your senses are involved. It was really, really nice. Made me, when I was on the train, kept waiting for the train, I was like, oh, I want to go down to the water. And then when I got back, I was a little bit grouchy because I was a bit tired. I forgot about it. So I've got to do better with that, don't I? And just try and seize the moment. So I've left some spots over in these spots to put some of that yellow in. So let me finish up this one. I'll come back when I've done a bit of the yellow. So it's sewn in to the printer's tray, and I'm just going to go around the outside, and I'll just do some very little running stitches. And then I'll come back and wrap the running stitches. So I'm loving this printer's tray, but it does get tricky once you start putting them into the tray, because everything starts to tangle. As much as I'd like to say that I can, I think I'm going too close. Because when I wrap it, it might not be thick enough to see the outline. Haven't planned this, can you tell? Yeah, I might come back out here. And go. Because I'm trying to keep you close as well, I'm making my life probably a lot harder than it needs to be. Let's see if I can run along rather than going in and out constantly. And the reason I'm doing it on it rather than off it, that's why I've been doing them all separately, is they are tricky to then go and try and put onto the tray, and you've got to figure out how to sew it in. So I will say, even though it's tricky and there's challenges, I'm enjoying it a lot. So it looks a little bit rough. Don't go too close, Colette. But when I come back and wrap it, it will look much better, I think. I'm trying to keep it on camera so you can see what I'm doing is tricky. And if you're interested in having a look at some of the other ones that I've made already, and some of them I haven't put onto this tray yet, as I think I said before, they can go onto other trays that I've got coming up, which I have to sit down, I think, on the holidays and make up a few more trays so that it makes it easy for me to just add new bits to. I like a black outline, do you? I think black often grounds work. Be so careful that I don't come too close to the other one. What is that? Why does it make that sound? It always scares me when it does that. Actually. So have you got some stitching in while I've been chit-chatting to you? Have you created? How about I get it back on camera? Have you been creating anything whilst we've been chatting? It's nice to have, I like having YouTube creators on in the background whilst I'm stitching, and I'm following along and watching them, and it feels like we're not by ourselves in our houses stitching, doesn't it? It feels like we're with our stitchy friends when we can't be with them. Come on. Why is this happening? There's one strand, can you see that? There is one strand that has decided it wants to live its own life and be separate from the rest. Can you see him? He's not playing ball. There you go. You can't live separate from the rest, Mr. Stranded Cotton. Got to be with your friends. See how he's not playing. Alright, let's fix him up. Just got to stretch him out a little bit so that he joins his fellow mates and doesn't be a little pog. So yeah, it's tight coming in here and doing stitching them in. Some are easier than others depending on what the design was. So this will look better once I have wrapped it. And hopefully it still looks like a C after I've got creative with the design of it. Are you going anywhere exciting soon? Do you have any holidays planned or adventures, or are you content being at home? I like being at home because I work full time. When I get a chance to have some quiet time, I like it, but I also enjoy adventures. Have you got any retreats that you're going to, or workshops, or stitch-alongs? I've got a stitch-along I'm going to in Nunawading, a thread, and it's gone out of my head, and I've never done it before. I've never gone to it before. This is, I think it might be their first sort of get together, and I'm really looking forward to it this next weekend. Just bring along something to work on whilst you stitch and chat with some stitchy friends, and being on a weekend, because us people who are still working, a lot of ladies are retired or working part-time, or can get along to a lot of things. Harder for us who are not in that stage of our life yet and are working full-time. So it's lovely to have a weekend thing that we can do together and go to. So it feels like a real treat. So I'm going to be catching up with some stitchy girls, and I get a lot of people say to me, oh, you don't know anyone and you're just going to things. Yeah, that's how you meet people. I'm okay with that. So I hope I might see some of you. I know some of you live in Melbourne. Gosh, that'd be lovely to meet you. Please come along and say good day. If you want any details, just leave a message for me in the comments and I'll give you the details if you're in Melbourne. Yeah, it's lovely to have that opportunity to do that. I know there's lots of, stitch and chats during the week at different craft stores and quilting places, but it's just not possible for a lot of us. So this is pretty exciting to be able to think about and get along to, and I think we're all going to bring things to share with others. Gosh, this community is so lovely. Everybody shares their things, and yeah, I can't wait. I've got lots of things that I'd like to share with people, and it'll be lovely. All right, so I'm at the end here, and now I'm just going to go in and wrap. So you can see here, and it might not be as thick as I want it to be, but it'll be good enough. So it'll thicken it up a bit. So I've got to be careful not to grab the other thread, and I know people do it with the other end of the needle so that it doesn't poke, but what do you think? Does it make it look a bit thicker, or am I kidding myself? Do I want to make that a bit pointy there by going in, and then up? Sorry, I keep being very quiet is what people are telling me, and sorry about that. We've still tried to get the sound fixed up. My husband's doing a lovely job post-edit doing the sound. I would have no idea how to do that, because apparently, yeah, I go quiet in the way I speak sometimes, which is, yeah, really weird for me because I'm really quite loud. So it must be that I just get into the zone and start zenning out, if you like, and yeah, being a bit softer than normal. So sorry about that. I know there's a couple of ladies who have mentioned a couple of times. I do apologise. I'm trying my best to figure out this YouTube thing and figure out how to work on the sound a bit. So I will get better as I go along. As I've said, I've only been doing this for a couple of months now, and I'm learning heaps as I go along. And thank you to other YouTube friends who are making suggestions on how I can make the experience more consistent and enjoyable for you guys. So thanks so much for joining me and persisting with my learning. Isn't it lovely to be a learner? Love learning new things, and this is definitely new for me. I was very, very nervous to begin with, thinking I might sound ridiculous, and it was really odd to begin with, sitting there and talking to yourself. It doesn't feel like that now, as I've said before. It feels like I'm just having a chat with friends, and we're sitting there talking as I would if we were sitting beside each other. Because we are. And shout out to Lucia in Italy. I know you comment all the time, and English isn't your first language, and I know I speak really quick and I use a lot of Australian sort of sayings, but I really enjoy your comments, Lucia, and so lovely to think you've got somebody in Italy, in America, and Canada, all these different places who love what you love and who are sharing these times. So thank you. Put in the comments where you're from. I'd love to know where everybody's from and what's it like in your country. And I used to travel a lot. I've travelled a lot through my life and hope to do that again once my son is a bit older and my mum doesn't need as much support from me. I think that's just going to get more and more as she gets older, which is hard. Getting older is no joke, is it? But yeah, I would like to travel. I love Italy. Lucia, I love Italy. When I was younger, I travelled through Europe, And I got mugged in Rome, and that does not put me off at all. I think every country's got things, and when I got mugged in Rome, it meant that I got to stay longer. And because I got to stay longer, have I told this story on this channel? If I have, I'm really sorry that I'm repeating myself. But yeah, I got to stay longer in Rome, and I got to go to church, and the Pope was saying Mass many years ago. And I got to do that, an audience with the Pope, because the nuns told me. Can I just share with you? See that? That's my blood right there, because I poked my needle right into my finger. So yes, we bleed for our art. Oh, no, just clumsy. Yeah, so yeah, I got to do an audience with the Pope, because the nuns, when I went to the gift shop, the nuns in broken English. Whoa, sorry about that. Jeez, I just knocked you. Yeah, the nuns told me in broken English that if you go up into the Vatican, you can get this thing where you can have an audience with the Pope, which just means that you get to be up the front. And they asked me to get them passes as well. So me and my friend got to go up to the front and blessed by the Pope when he was saying Mass, Pope John Paul, so many years ago. So I would really love to go back to Italy, and because I got mugged in Rome, I got to go to Mass, but it meant that I didn't travel on to Florence, Venice and Milan like we had planned, because I didn't have enough money after I got all my money and everything stolen. But it just means that I get to go back one day, and I will. That's what my husband and I have spoken about, is when my son finishes year 12 in a couple of years, so last year of high school, we're going to take him to Europe, and Florence, Venice and Milan and Rome, some places that we will take him to, as well as other bits of Europe. Haven't done the itinerary or anything like that yet, because it's a few years away, but we're saving madly for it, and we will one day go. I can't wait to go with my husband. I went with my friend, go with my son, experience those things. Travelling is such a luxury, and Australians, we tend to travel quite a bit, to be honest, because we live all the way on the other side of the world, so we tend to travel quite a lot. Now, looks pretty good. That's a bit too close, but that's okay. So let me just finish it off. So there we go. Your own embroidery was the prompt. Roxy's Journal of Stitchery, Volume 8. It's a C. It's kind of got a bit squished up there, but that's okay. I know what it is. Very bobbly, and I really love it. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a lovely week. I hope you get some stitching in. In the comments, let me know where you're from, where you're watching from, a little bit about your country. It would be lovely to know. And do you catch up with stitchy friends? Like, what is it that you do? So I hope you've enjoyed it. Take care. Have a lovely week. Bye for now.